Another big breaking news that we are following at this point of time is the European Union's reaction on this particular meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. The European Union has welcomed Trump's efforts. Europe, in fact, backs the trilateral talks and pushes for security guarantees. The European Union has mentioned that Ukraine must have the final word on any territory issues. All right, as I mentioned, the European Union has reacted on that Trump-Putin meeting and has welcomed Trump's efforts. It has also, in fact, backed the trilateral talks, pushing for security guarantees and saying that Ukraine must have the final word on the territory issue. In fact, my colleague Mohammad Ghazali will be joining us very soon on this. In fact, he's there with us live. Ghazali, the European Union pretty adamant that Ukraine must have the final word on territory.
Because today's talks have given some indication that perhaps both the leaders may have agreed on certain issues. This was the first time perhaps in years that US President and his Russian counterpart were having talks on US soil, and the European Union leaders, basically the Prime Minister of UK, Germany's Chancellor, President of France, they all have issued a joint statement, yet again reiterating the fact that talks should, now the next round of talks should include Zelenskyy, the Ukrainian president as well, and also on a very contentious issue which Mr. Trump had hinted days before this today's talks happened, was about the land swapping issue, that any decision or any talks which revolves around the swapping of land, or whether Ukraine should surrender its territories or the territories occupied by Russia should continue to be under Russian control. These are certain issues on which Russia's call or Russia's decision should be considered, and they should be part of the discussion. So this is something which the European leaders have stressed. They have also welcomed Mr. Trump's initiative for holding these talks for a ceasefire, but just the first round of talks have happened between US and Russia, and we are expecting that perhaps in the next round of talk, as and when it happens, European leaders are pushing that Zelenskyy should also be represented there.
Yeah, and Mohammad Ghazali, I also want to go back to what Volodymyr Zelenskyy has said in that particular statement. Apart from long-term peace, Zelenskyy has said that sanctions are an effective tool. How should we read this particular statement?
See, he is indicating that despite talks happening in India's midnight time, Russia continued to attack on the Ukrainian territory. Children have been killed, and Mr. Zelenskyy and other Ukrainian officials continue to back the claim that while the talks were on, Russia still went ahead with attacks on Ukrainian territory. And that is why Mr. Zelenskyy said that sanctions is the only route through which we can put pressure on Russia, or US can put Mr. Putin under pressure to halt this war. And that is why he has tweeted twice after these talks. One, informing about that how he has spoken to Mr. Trump, and he's also going to meet him on Monday. But in the latest tweet, he yet again toughens his stand against Russia, saying that sanctions should be put against Russia, and when it comes to territorial swapping issue, Ukraine should be considered. Ukraine will not surrender its territory and all. So in a way, it particularly hints that perhaps Mr. Zelenskyy also smells that the talks are moving in positive direction, and Putin will give certain concessions to Mr. Trump as and when the next round of talks happen.